To the church at Rome, he simply said, "Pursue hospitality." Romans chapter 12, verse 13. And Paul told Timothy that leaders in the church must be hospitable. An overseer, therefore, must be above reproach, the husband of one wife, self-controlled, sensible, respectable, hospitable, able to teach, not an excessive drinker, not a bully but gentle, not quarrelsome, not greedy. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 2 and 3. And Paul would say similar words in Titus chapter 1, verses 7 and 8. As an overseer of God's household, he must be blameless, not arrogant, not hot-tempered, not an excessive drinker, not a bully, not greedy for money, but hospitable, loving what is good, sensible, righteous, holy, self-controlled. This book is for those church members who really want to see their churches make a difference. A Tale of Two Guests. The stories are true. Only the names have been changed. Here are two doses of reality. And the first one is positive. Jane is a stylist. She cuts hair. On this particular day, she cut my hair. I often say I get my hairs cut rather than getting a haircut. I don't know why people use the latter term. After all, who gets just one hair cut? I'm an introvert. If introversion were a spiritual gift, it would be my dominant spiritual gift. I would rather work in a room alone than work in a room with people I hardly know. But I can't let my introversion be an excuse to be a silent witness. So I make myself come out of my shell. It's not just the right thing to do, it's Great Commission obedience. As Jane was cutting my hairs, I began a conversation about her life and her world. Once I found out where she lived, I was able to shift the conversation to Jesus and church. Indeed, I found out she lived near my church, where my son pastors. So I talked to Jane about her life. I talked a bit about Jesus, and I invited her to church. She was noncommittal, or so I thought. Little did I know that the Holy Spirit had already been working in her life. I will spare you the details, but she soon found the website of our church and bravely, her word, not mine, decided to visit. She fell in love with the church. Her words again. The website gave her all the information she needed. She found the guest parking spot with ease. The people were genuinely friendly. The preacher preached the Bible with conviction and love. I will cut to the chase. Jane decided to follow Christ. She was baptized. And now she is smiling, enthused, and an active member of the welcome team ministry of our church. Great story, huh? Well, let me share another story, one that is not so great. His name is Ryan. I met Ryan in a consultation for a church where we focused on the guest experience. We had a 1-hour in-person interview with him, and he let us have it. Ryan had almost no church background, but I could tell he was really searching. So he did something bold, if not audacious from his perspective. He asked his wife, Bethany, if she and their 2 young daughters would go to church with him. Bethany had a nominal church background, but she was not really interested in going back to a church. She found the world outside the church more pleasant than church life. She nevertheless agreed to go with Ryan just one time. And there won't be a second time at the church they visited. To begin, the church website was terrible. It had not been updated with the new time of the worship service. So the family of 4 was late, even though they thought they would arrive on time. Because they arrived late, church members occupied all the closer parking spots. Supposedly, there were guest parking spots, but Ryan could not find any directional signs to them. When they arrived late, a couple of front door greeters spoke to them for at least 2 seconds. The 2 greeters then resumed their private conversation, oblivious to the world and people around them. And when they went to the children's area to check in their 2 young daughters, disaster struck. The place was dirty, security was weak.